Hello, this is Rachelle from Rivet Patterns, and today we're going to be talking about a Henley placket, a traditional Henley placket. We're going to walk you step by step how to achieve a professional looking placket. So we're going to start with the placket piece and the interfacing. If you're using a woven, you may not need to use interfacing. I still would, but that's up to you. So first thing we're going to do is make sure we get the wrong side up here, and we're going to place the interfacing. So you want to do this so that your seam allowances don't have interfacing. We're just trying to reduce the bulk here. If you want to do the whole thing, it doesn't really matter that much. So we're going to do 1/4 inch from this side and 1/4 inch from this side, and then we want 1/2 inch up. That was pretty close from the first shot, and that will leave 3/8 on the top. So I'm going to press this, and then we'll come back and draw our lines. For our lines, if you had put your interfacing all the way to the edge, you would need to draw the two 1/4 inch lines here, as well as the 1/2 inch line here. Since we have our interfacing to be our guide, we don't need to do that. So we are going to work from either side in. So we need 4 lines there, and they're all spaced 5/8 inches apart. You need, I use this kind of a marker, or a chalk marker, because it makes a very precise line, and you need to be precise on this. So you can use a fabric marker as long as it doesn't bleed through. So we're going to measure over 5/8. Now, one thing that does happen when you get into this many precise lines and folding is that you lose just a scant amount of fabric when you fold. So when I do these lines, I do them a scant, which means I just move it just a little over. So it's a very, very tiny amount smaller than the 5/8. So I'm going to draw my line here. Make sure you can see it really well. Okay. Another thing is, if you just move from one end to the other, if you have a small error, it can compound by the time you get to the end. So I do it from each side. Okay, so another 5/8 from the edge of the interfacing, just a little bit scant. Right. All right, then we can draw the next 2 lines. So, and this is why it's important to have a very precise marker. So another 5/8, just a little scant. And then from the other side, 5/8, just a little scant. Okay, then we have the 4 lines. So next up, what we're going to do is we are going to press in the 2/4 inches into the middle. I'm going to do that and be right back. And then we are going to press the bottom 1/2 inch upwards. And then once we have that done, we are going to press on these 2. We're going to pull them into the middle and press on each of these lines. And then very last, you're going to fold 1 in here so it matches up, and then fold the other one over. This is why I was telling you scant lines are important, because you're losing some of this when you're folding all of this. And this is just memory pressing, so it makes it easier when we go to attach it. All right, now that we have all of this pressed on our lines, we are going to snip from the bottom up to the edge of the interfacing on these 4 points. Be careful, you're very precise here. Don't go up onto the interfacing. Sorry, got a little close there. Okay, so now we need our bodice. So we need to be able to place it, center it very, very well here in the center. So what I'm going to do is a memory press here, so I have something to line it up to. Okay, so I've marked my memory seam here. You won't have a back bodice on yours. This is a working bodice of mine where I was experimenting with some other stuff, so just ignore the fact that the back bodice is there. It'll make my job a little easier, a little harder here, but yours will be fairly easy. So you're going to take the top, make sure you have the top. That's the part that is not snipped. Has the 3/8 seam allowance, and you're going to place it at the very top so it lines up with that neckline. The middle of the placket should line up with the middle of your bodice memory press. And then again, the same for the bottom. So then you are going to sew a rectangle. Try and come in here. So you're going to sew around the middle rectangle. You're going to sew all the way here, stop before the clip, over to the other clip, and back up. When you hit this corner, make sure you put your needle down, lift your presser foot, and pivot your fabric for a nice crisp line and corner. So you can see I've sewn this rectangle. Now I have it upside down. This is the neckline, so that I can do my next step. So you're going to snip right down the center. Just make a nice long cut. You stop about 1/2 inch from the bottom. And then you're going to snip into each corner in a Y. You want to get as close to the stitches as you can without going through them. Do not go through them. The closer you get, the more precise your placket will be. Okay. See, now I've got the beginnings of the placket. So the next thing we're going to do is take each of these here, and we're going to press them in. Press those in here, and you're going to press this way. You can trim these down to 1/4 inch if you like. It's up to you. I usually do it, but I'll be right back. Okay, now that we have these pressed here, we're going to go ahead and turn our bodice to the wrong side. Okay, and we're going to kind of just push this part out of the way a little bit here. So we're going to pull, it's your left as you're looking at it, which is the wearer's right. If you mess this up and do it backwards, it's fine. It'll just feel weird with your buttons being on the wrong side. So you'll notice here we have the little triangle piece and its coordinating flap, and then we have 2 more. We have this flap here, and then the flap that has the original 1/4 inch on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to snip right along here. We're going to cut all the way over to the triangle. Do not snip the triangle or the center flap. This is to reduce bulk again. Otherwise you're trying to fold all these guys up and in there. Okay. And now we fold. So you got to grab this piece here. I'll try and get in a little closer here so you can see what I'm doing. There's a flap and the triangle. So you maneuver that so that it is laying inside your placket here. I hold that in place with Wonder Tape. You don't have to. You can use pins or whatever. I just find it a lot easier if I'm not trying to manipulate all of that. Then you're going to take this and you're going to take this 1/4 inch fold line and bring it right over here and match it. And I use Wonder Tape to hold this down too. So it all seems like this. I'm going to show you, I'm just going to pin this real quick so I can show you the other side. Seriously, Wonder Tape is amazing. It saves you trying to fiddle with pins. So then on the other side, so you've got a nice square packet with this done. So once you've got it all Wonder Taped or pinned, turn it over to the front and you're going to edge stitch all the way down this line and over, so you can catch both the front and the back securing the placket. If you want, you can continue all the way around. Might give it a more professional finish. That is up to you. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so here you can see I've got this part top stitched. Now we're going to work with the other side. So turn your bodice back and side out. I'm just going to push this part out of the way. And we're going to deal with this side. So we're going to do our same origami folding, but it's a little easier because we don't have the triangle to deal with. So we're going to fold this up and in. And then again, I put Wonder Tape along here. And I'll hold the flap down with it too. Fold this over and line it up on the other side. Then when you go to top stitch or edge stitch, you're going to turn it over. You're going to go down this side and then over. This will be the one that sits on the top. So if you want a more professional finish, you can stitch up this edge as well. And there we have our two sides, the plackets. So they are going to fit over each other like this, lined up. To finish the bottom, you can either just make a straight line to connect them, or you can do a square, or you get really fancy and do a square with the cross in the middle. You can do that now or after you put your buttons or snaps on. I like to do the buttons and snaps first because I find that having this sewn bulk at the bottom makes it really hard to do a buttonhole right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. But if you are going to do it now, you need to take into account how you're going to finish this and then your 3/8 seam allowance here, so that you're spacing your buttons or snaps equally within where your seam allowances are. And there we have it. I use snaps on this one. You can use snaps or buttons, or if you don't want to be able to open it, you can just sew it shut and put buttons on it. Be sure to check out our other video on how to attach the neckband. Thanks for joining us.